Today we're going to be changing the spark plugs on a 2001 530i. You can also use this video to sort of help you change the coil packs on this car. So let's get started. The first thing you want to do is remove this plastic cover, and to do that we're going to take a flathead screwdriver and carefully, a little bit more careful than that, carefully remove the plastic covers here. Remove the oil cap and remove two 10mm bolts. It's also going to be helpful to us if we remove this intake right here for the air box. This is for the cabin air filter, and we just want to carefully unlatch these clips and then twist it towards the driver's side of the car and then pull it towards us. And that's going to give us a lot more access to this area here when we want to change that number 6 spark plug or the number 6 coil pack, which is in the back underneath this cover. Before we can remove the spark plug, we have to remove each individual coil pack, and I like to do these one at a time. So taking a flathead screwdriver, carefully pry from side to side and lift up the clip and unplug the coil pack from the harness. There are two 10mm bolts that hold down the coil pack. After the two bolts are removed, we can just lift up the coil pack. Once the coil pack is removed, inspect the end of the rubber boot for any oil or dry rotting or cracks. If the boot looks like it's in pretty rough shape, now is a good time to also replace just the rubber insulator boot, which is available separately from the coil pack. For this next step, it's going to be much easier for you if you have an extension, a spark plug socket. This one is a 5/8. And I also like to use a small breaker bar. Now to remove the spark plug, to loosen, we're going to go counterclockwise this way. This is a good time to inspect each of your spark plugs, and you want to take a look at the end and check out the wear on the electrode and also the general color to see how the engine is running. I know most car guys have their preferred brand and type of spark plug, but in the last 12 years I've been working on BMWs. The NGK spark plugs have been hands down the best in terms of performance, price, and the most reliable. So this is the type of spark plug that this car calls for from the factory. It's a laser platinum. They're about $10 to $11 each. And this is a BKR 6E QUP. Now you'll notice that on the end of these spark plugs, there is a brown protective piece of paper here. It's like a cardboard. And what that does is it actually protects each of these little prongs next to the electrodes from getting bumped during shipment and changing the spark plug gap accidentally. So just a little pro tip, when you see that cardboard on the end of the spark plug, you actually don't need to set the gap. The gap has already been set for you by the manufacturer of the spark plug. Now we're going to take our new spark plug and very carefully thread it in. with just the extension. Now you want to take your time here and make sure that the threads go in nicely. There we go. It's perfectly tight right now. I'll just give it a nice little snug. Now if you're wondering what the torque specs are for the M54 engine, the Bentley manual suggests 25 Newton meters, which translates to about 18 foot-pounds of torque on the spark plug. NGK suggests around 22 foot-pounds of torque. Now that the spark plug has been torqued down correctly, all you have to do is slide in the coil pack. Make sure that the ground here is placed in the correct position when you put the bolt back in. Give these a nice little light tightening, not too tight. You don't want to crack the coils. These are pretty brittle and you don't want to over tighten them and crack them. The last thing you want to do, lift up this bracket, slide the harness back in, and then push down the bracket to lock it in place. And that's pretty much it. What you're going to do is just repeat all the way down through each cylinder, carefully removing each coil pack, replacing the spark plug, and then replacing the coil pack one by one. That's also the easiest way to make sure that you don't mix up any of the plugs or mix up any of the individual coil packs. So we've just finished replacing all of our spark plugs. We're going to carefully install our cover. Remember, we have two 10mm nuts. Let's put our oil cap back on. We're going to put these clips back in. And last but not least, we want to take our airbox connector here, push this firmly into place, twist it about 30 degrees, line up the clip, and then squeeze this clip towards us. Well guys, that's pretty much it. Now you know how to change the spark plugs and or the coil packs on the M54 double Vanos engine. I hope this has been helpful to you and provided some value. Please like, comment, or subscribe. I really appreciate it.